Calico is a sketch-based tool intended to support software design as it happens in the whiteboard. In designing Calico, we first built a sketch-based platform similar to a regular whiteboard, and then carefully added new functionality so as to not obstruct the fluidity of the sketch experience. In Calico, users can move beyond just sketching by converting pieces or sketches into scraps. Scraps are paper-like objects which lift up content and can be moved, copied, and relayed to one another with arrows. Scraps serve two primary purposes. First, they allow fluid manipulation of content. In creating a scrap, all sketches and other scraps are lifted onto it and can now be moved as a single unit. Next, scraps allow the creation of box and arrow type diagrams common in software design. In this example, we've been drafting the basic architecture of a medical system. In using scraps, we're able to freely explore the relationship between different components without committing to the actual architecture. In some instances, we use arrows to create relationships. In other instances, such as this one, we cluster scraps together in order to indicate a relationship. In allowing the user to freely compose and decompose components using scraps, we allow the architecture to emerge rather than having to declare it up front. In this case, we create a scrap around this cluster with patient at its head, and now it's a single unit that can be moved together, resized, or we can also create relations between its head scrap and others. Next, in order to allow patient to accommodate more objects, we can turn it into a soft mode list. This allows the object to add and remove components and then resize automatically. For example, we can remove an object and it will resize, and now we can add an object and it will resize automatically. From the canvas, the user can enter a grid perspective, which manages a set of canvases. From here, the user can enter adjacent cells by tapping on them. In addition, from the grid, they can create copies of canvases, move them, and also delete them. In our previous example, we've investigated patient. Now we will create a copy of the canvas adjacent, one to explore the doctor, and we also create another copy in order to explore the role of system admin. After we've explored the other canvases in a similar amount of detail, we can then view them in a juxtaposed view using the viewport. This allows the user to edit several cells simultaneously. In this perspective, we can copy scraps from one canvas and then copy into another. This allows us to converge ideas from several different canvases onto a single one, and then conversely, we can also diverge and explode the ideas from one canvas onto another. This can be helpful if we're working with an architecture, if we develop at a high-level view, and then explode the contents out to adjacent cells to explore those contents in more detail.